Hello, my name is Kia Ward and I chose Choice 2, a reflection on Willowbrook. I decided to pick this topic because I was interested in knowing what Willowbrook was since I never heard of it before. After watching the video, Unforgotten 25 years after Willowbrook, I was heartbroken and upset because the residents with a disability had to live in those horrific conditions and experience Willowbrook in such capacity, knowing they couldn't take care of themselves. Throughout the video, I learned Willowbrook was a residential facility founded in 1947 and was located in Staten Island, New York. Willowbrook was a place where people who had mild to severe disabilities resided. After viewing the introduction, PowerPoint slides, and the Sutherland High School video, I enjoyed learning the meaning of disability, inclusion, and special education. Disability is defined as a perceived lack of power or strength in a particular area that prevents a person from living a typical life or performing a particular task. Inclusion is a philosophy that students with disabilities should be fully integrated in general education classrooms. Special education means specially designed, individualized, or group instruction to meet the unique needs of students with disabilities. I was extremely surprised by what I saw throughout the video because I had never seen a person who has a disability living in horrific conditions. The reason for this is because last year I worked at a special education summer school and I saw students with a disability being taken care of very well inside a low teacher to student ratio classroom. I only had one viewpoint of how people who have disabilities were expected to be taken care of. This video opened my eyes and allowed me to see another side of how people who have disabilities have been cared for in the past. The video mentioned the hardships people who are disabled face while staying at Willowbrook and how those hardships affected their family and society. I thought about how important it is to show acts of kindness to people even if you aren't in the same situation as them. I thought about my cousin who has a disability and how I would feel to see her in those horrific conditions. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would advocate for change by bringing awareness to her situation through social media, which was non-existent during those times. In order to help me better reflect, I broke up the video in 3 parts: what the residents had to endure, the parents' and siblings' perspective, and society's input. It hurt me to see visual images of the residents left unattended to fend for themselves, instead of having the support they deserved. They suffered from diseases and developed foul odors. No one was there to bathe them, talk to them, or teach them. They needed to have human contact and use their senses. Learning the staff ratio was 3 to 70 instead of 4 to 1 was unbelievable. Families had to make a difficult choice by enrolling their child into Willowbrook. They didn't realize the facility their child attended was extremely brutal. Parents thought Willowbrook would be able to provide the necessary environment and resources for their child to succeed, but sadly it did not. Parents were left in the unknown and struggled with leaving their child in this facility for someone else to take care of them. They didn't know what their child was enduring, so they examined their child based on their physical appearance. They would then realize their child was in extremely brutal conditions. Laws protected Willowbrook's privacy, which prevented people from seeing the tragic environment. It was interesting to hear the different ways parents responded to their child with a disability. Some parents erased their child from their life, while others decided to pay close attention. One family member cried as she described seeing her sister after 6 months as the worst day of her life. Some parents felt ashamed to have a child who has a disability. Siblings struggled because they felt they were being taken away from them. One sibling spoke about what it's like for a parent to give birth to a child who doesn't meet society's standards. She mentioned how neighbors refuse to let a person who has a disability into their community. She spoke about the what if factor. What if they were related to a person with a disability? They would want them to be welcomed instead of being denied. The importance of inclusion came to mind because I saw the value in everyone receiving compassion, love, and equality. It is important for everyone to be included and treated equally no matter their background. It is important for everyone to get the opportunity to learn and grow together. I enjoy seeing the evolution of laws and acts that have been passed since the 1940s. I am glad to see how much has changed for the better drastically over the years. In Chapter 1 of the textbook, I learned about the Disabilities Education Act, which requires all parents or guardians to have a voice, and they have the right to know what is going on with their child during school. Now parents have the right to know what is happening with their child at any time in any type of setting. Although people with disabilities during the 1940s had to face these challenges, I am proud of the growth that has been made from then to now. Thank you.